raw material momentum that we've seen coming in across the board for a lot of FMCG staple companies, a lot of their key raw materials have seen a deflationary move in the month gone by. We've got the war pressure also that is now receding, and on the back of that, you've got Brent crude. Let's start by talking about the sectors, the companies that fall under paints, packaging, and personal care. The biggest downfall coming in on Brent crude, 16% lower, and the likely beneficiaries are companies that use palm derivatives as a raw material. So you've got Asian Paints, Berger, Pidilite in the chemicals front, Dabur, Marico, HUL. All of them stand to be the biggest beneficiaries of the 16% softness that we've seen on a month-on-month basis in Brent. For copra then, Marico has been in focus on the back of its Q1 update, and the biggest reason why it's done so well is that there has been a sharp slowdown coming in, about 10.5% on copra prices. So oil makers like Marico and Dabur stand to gain from this. Next, let's talk about PFAD, which is palm fatty acid distillate, which is used as a raw material for soaps. A 1.5% cool off in terms of a month-on-month pricing. So soap makers like HUL, you've got Godrej Consumer and Jyoti Labs. All of them stand to gain on the back of this softness. And you've also got alkyl benzene that is used as a raw material in detergents. That has also seen about a 1.5% cool off month-on-month. Once again, it's these soap players who also make detergents, HUL, GCPL, Jyoti Labs, that stand to gain from this. Shifting focus then, let's talk about food input cost ease, and FMCG margins may improve on account of this. On the back of that, some food-related commodities, wheat is lower by about 2.5%. So biscuit makers and companies that use wheat flour as a raw material, Britannia, Nestle, ITC, Mrs. Bector's Foods, all stand to benefit from this. Cocoa prices are lower by 2.5% month-on-month, and the biggest chocolate maker in the country, Nestle, also stands to gain from this. Refined soybean oil has seen a cut of 1.5%, about that much on a month-on-month basis. So edible oil makers, Marico, who makes Saffola, Adani Wilmar, Patanjali, all of these edible oil makers also stand to benefit from this. Next up, let's shift the focus to beverages and oral care. In the beverage segment, coffee has seen very flattish moves, but that is positive for coffee makers like Tata Consumer, HUL, as well as CCL products. Let's talk about maize. The extract from maize sorbitol is used in toothpaste, and toothpaste makers like Colgate, HUL and Dabur will benefit from this 2% softness seen on a month-on-month basis. Let's also talk about mentha oil, which is a cooling substance and a flavoring substance used in hair oils and cooling products. 1.5% softness there. So you've got Dabur, Marico, GCPL and Emami who stand to benefit from this. Well, this is a list of all the raw materials that have seen some softness and the beneficiaries. Remember that on a year-on-year basis, some of these commodities are still quite elevated. On the back of all the geopolitical pressures that we've seen in the previous few months, albeit they're now easing, Brent crude still continues to be higher by 58% on a year-on-year basis. You've still got palm fatty acid distillate that is used in soaps that's seeing an inflationary trend, as has been the case with soybean oil, with LAB as well as mentha oil. So while we're still waiting for further moderation on this, even the month-on-month move seen in the latter half of Q1 could be very beneficial for staples earnings in Q1.
Right.